Caseus, Jedi Redeemed. Chapter 12. Absolutely not! Caseus was fuming. There was not a chance in hell that Guidom had said what he thought he heard. I know you hate it. I don't like it either. But if we need someone of influence in the underworld to get us past Rhoda Fall, Dotami is our best option. Caseus paced and wanted to smash his fist through the wall. Dotami should be rotting in the ground where he belongs, not aiding them on their mission. Caseus, I know what he's taken from you. And when this is over, I can take having my lightsaber taken from me, Guidom. I can accept that until this mission is done, I'm going to be aiding the rebels. I can even accept that you wanted me to spare his life back on Dandelion. But if you expect me to be okay letting that slimeball out of his cell, bringing him onto our ship, taking him to Terrace, and actually working alongside him after what he did, you are on death sticks! Caseus. Caseus was red in the face, absolutely furious as a few wayward rebel technicians awkwardly moved past them. Look, if you're not comfortable with this, then think of another way. But we're running out of time. And we can't go to Terrace guns blazing and expect to blow through a crime syndicate without attracting Imperial eyes. Caseus scowled at the idea of working with Dotami. But he didn't have any other ideas. He'd never been to Terrace. He knew nothing about Rhoda Fall. And getting through without drawing attention would be difficult enough without a crime syndicate watching them. Caseus. Caseus looked to Guidom, who put his hand on his back. I promise you, as soon as we get these contacts, Dotami will spend the rest of his life in a cage, like the animal he is. No, I promise you, Guidom. If for 1 second I feel that he's going to jeopardize this mission, if he makes any trouble, if he even looks at me wrong, there won't be anything left of him to put in a cage. Caseus stormed off. He had to clear his mind. Finding the repair hangar, Caseus found Pip, Bendel, and Kresh working on the Arabella. In just the few weeks since he last saw it, they'd already made significant progress in getting the old starship into working order.
Captain, just in time. Hand me the hydrospanner, will ya?
Caseus walked to a box of tools and handed the hydrospanner up to the little droid. Stepping outside the ramp, he caught a glimpse of Bendel working inside. You guys have been busy. We figured since we're still stuck here for a bit, might as well help. You're gonna need a ship after you're finished here, right? Yeah. Thanks. Caseus heard an annoyed hiss as Tosa struggled and shoved the large hyperdrive engine out onto the ramp.
How come Kresh isn't doing this?
Kresh snorted and laughed while adjusting the landing gear.
Seriously? We have a wall of muscle at our disposal, and yet I'm the one doing the heavy lifting.
No one likes a whiner, Tosa. Caseus walked to Bendel, who was cleaning out the last of the debris from under the nav computer. Hey, I need to talk to you. About what? We're going to be heading to Terrace to find those contacts that Rondo left us. Only problem is we have to get by a crime syndicate called Rhoda Fall. Sounds like fun. And, in order to get by, Guidom says we need Dotami. Bendel stopped working for a moment, before returning his attention to cleaning out beneath the nav computer. Bendel? Fine. Whatever. Just keep an eye on him. Caseus sighed. I don't want to work with him either. You aren't working with him. He is working for you. Big difference. That scughole better know his place or he might not have the colonel to save him this time. Caseus nodded as Bendel struggled with something. Damn! Something lodged in here real good. Come on, you little... With a mighty tug, Bendel fell backwards into Caseus as something clattered across the metal floor. Caseus' eyes widened. Lying on the floor, mere feet away, Corbin's lightsaber. The one he had given to Liara. Is that what I think it is? Caseus paid no attention to Bendel and slowly walked over and picked up the saber. He stared at it. Both people who owned this weapon, he had lost. He wondered if the saber was cursed, or if he was. Caseus? Caseus closed his eyes and left the nebulous, left the hangar, and went to his quarters, opening the drawer with the holocron and putting the weapon inside before sitting down. He had so many thoughts and emotions swimming through his head. Terrace, the nebulous, Dotame, Gaidom. Now this. He wanted to sleep. The only thing keeping him from doing so was not wanting to deal with the dreams. I wish you were here, Corbin. I miss you. Caseus sat in thought for a few minutes until Gaidom entered his quarters. Well, he's agreed. But he wants to talk to you first. I don't have anything to say to him. He won't go unless you do. Caseus sighed and cupped his hands over his face. Fine. Let's get this over with. Caseus got up and accompanied Gaidom to the holding cells. There, in his cell, sipping a cup of warm tea, was Dotame.
Ah, there he is.
Talk. Now.
Right to the point, I see. Very well. I'm to understand you require my services to get you past Rotafall, yes?
That's not going to be a problem, is it?
Of course not. I told you I have many connections in the Outer Rim, but this does raise a few questions. First being, how desperate are you that you would ask me for my help, Caseus?
Caseus slammed his metal fist onto the side of the wall, causing Dotame to drop his cup as it shattered on the stone floor. Don't test me.
Right, yes. However, I must also ask, what do I receive in return for my services?
How about this? You do what we tell you. You keep your mouth shut unless we say so. And I let you keep your head. Dotame smirked, his crooked teeth a pale yellow.
You won't kill me, Caseus. He won't allow it.
Caseus turned to Gaidom. No, I won't. Gaidom suddenly opened the cell door as Caseus stepped in. I'll be sure to stop him before you die. Caseus' eyes flared with fury as he picked Dotame up by his collar and slammed him back into the metal wall, driving his fist right across the Grand's jaw.
Wait! Stop! Stop!
I don't think he can hear you. Caseus pressed his hand against Dotame's throat and pulled his fist back to strike him again.
I'll do it!
Gaidom put his hand on Caseus' fist as the angered Jedi slowly lowered his arm and dropped Dotame to the floor. You'll be escorted to the ship when we're ready for departure. Dotame shivered like a pathetic worm and squirmed to the corner of his cell, nodding. Caseus left and rubbed his bruised knuckles. Thanks. I needed that. He did too. Get your stuff ready. I'll call you when we're ready to head out. One more thing. I want Bendel and the others to come on this one. We'll need backup if things go south. I'll talk to General Press, see what we can do. Caseus nodded and went down the corridors leading past the hangar. As he did, he stopped. He sensed something odd. A strange presence, but familiar somehow. As he turned his attention to the hangar, he saw a shuttle land. As he stepped closer, the shuttle ramp opened and a few rebel troopers exited, along with 2 droids, a gold protocol droid, and a little blue astromech unit. The last person to step off the ship caught his attention. A young woman in a white gown with a peculiar hairstyle.
Yes, I realize we aren't going to be here long, but still, it worries me. You watch your language. I have half a mind to go to Captain Antilles and have him shut you off.
Caseus kept his eyes on the woman as she spoke to a few of the rebel leaders, bowing respectfully. Something about this girl was strange. He felt as though he recognized it. Before he could approach her, he felt a tug on his pants.
Captain, come quick! You gotta see this!
Caseus took one more look at the woman before he followed Pip to the repair bay, where Bendel was sitting with an ale in his hand, smiling proudly. What's up?
See for yourself.
Pressing a switch on the control terminal, Caseus watched as the nebulous engines activated and power returned to the ship. You got it running?
Yeah, it's not ready to fly yet, but this is a big breakthrough. Thought we'd never get this fossil juiced up again. I told you, Captain. Soon the mighty Nebulous will soar once again.
Caseus smiled. This is great, guys. But this project will have to be put on hold for a bit. You guys are coming with us to Terrace. Kresh raised his arm and cheered with loud grunts.
Finally! That time we got back out there.
Tosa hissed and crossed his arms.
Terrace, eh? You know the Empire controls that planet, right?
We have a plan. Get ready, and we'll get out of here soon.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Caseus smiled and returned Pip's salute before heading to his quarters to get ready. After he had assembled what he needed, he clipped his saber to his belt and walked out the door just as Guidom approached. Good. I was just coming to get you. Ready? Yeah. Is that orange slug on board? Guidom smirked, restrained and quiet. Good. And the others?
I talked to General Press. As long as they stay out of trouble and stick to the plan, Bendel and the others are cleared to accompany us.
Okay then. I'm ready. As they approached their ship, Caseus watched as the shuttle he had seen earlier took off, and with it, that strange feeling.
Caseus? Huh? You coming?
Right. Yeah. Let's go. As they boarded the ship, Caseus looked to the back and saw Dotami restrained in a device keeping his hands and feet pinned together and his mouth covered by a dirty rag. As a Jedi, Caseus knew he shouldn't take pleasure in seeing anyone suffer. However, he made an exception for Dotami. Seeing him restrained and unable to talk brought a smile to his face, and he knew he would savor it the entire way to Terrace.